We've got another special guest. She's going to go ahead and make her way in here. This is all due respect to Coach Moffitt here, but here's the actual lady in charge, okay? She's running the ship here. It's Miss Diane Bode. Hi. It's so nice to meet you in person. We've been talking for the past month and a half.
Yes, we have.
So it's here. It's finally here. You do so much work leading up to it. How fun is it every single year to be here and be like, okay, we're back?
It's like you're living the after game party again. You know? That's the fun part. I mean, like when we have the social, and it's like that's the time when you kind of relax, unwind, and get to visit and talk, and that's the fun part about it.
So we talked to Coach Moffitt a little bit. Obviously, there's a whole lot of work here that goes in with all the coaches and all the guys that are here to learn the X's and O's. But this is a special clinic because it's the one where the wives have the most fun. Tell us what was the idea behind doing all that?
Well, with my husband and my brother-in-law, I mean, their mom was very active in the Coaches Wives Association, and so from the time I got married, we all kind of went. There was like 7 Bodes, and we all went to coaching school, and we did the wives thing, and so it was always kind of expected. And when I got out, I found that the first coaching job that Clay had was in Seguin, and it was really one of my favorite coaching staffs. We were all about the same age. Our kids were the same age. And it was a great experience. But as I started talking with other wives, some wives just didn't have that experience. And it's, during football season, it's hard. And you got to rely on each other. And I think, luckily, we were in the San Antonio area mostly for Clay's coaching career. And I just love that area. I mean, the coaches' wives, we have a lot of the San Antonio coaches that come up here. So Region 8 is really well presented. And on Friday night, we're competitive, but off on, we're really good friends. And so I love getting to see people come back, now that Clay's retired. This is my opportunity to kind of interact with them again. And I just think it's important to know what wives go through, and then,
absolutely
give them an opportunity because they want to see their husbands succeed in their profession, and we want to make sure that we're there for them. But we also like to have a good time.
Oh yeah.
So
and
absolutely,
what a better place than Fredericksburg, Texas, to have a good time.
Right, exactly. I mean, I keep telling the guys. I said, you guys think as the clinic keeps getting bigger, it's because of the coaching, and I said it's not. It's the wives, and so in fact, I met before we came over. I met one wife and. Actually from Taft, and her husband said, well, she found out wives were invited and she was signing us up. I mean, so, and we really already have a good showing. Before I came over here, within, I think we've probably had over 30 wives already signed up. They're picking up their shopping bags, and we have coupons from Barefoot and Zertz, and so that they can go down there and shop, and then we give them, an opportunity to. And sometimes we have staffs that come. So we have about 8 or so schools that brought their entire staff. So it's it's like a girls' trip.
Yeah.
And they're like kicking the guys out at the curb and going, you go to school and we're going to go have fun. So
that is too cool.
Now, Coach Moffitt said there were about 75 last year, so he only expects that number to grow. What are some of the opportunities that the wives will have during this weekend? Maybe some activities that they get to do specifically to the wives?
Most of us is like at 3:00 we'll do the meet and greet, and of course I think that's like we just all like to get together and talk. Last year we did a wine tasting during the time, and I started laughing as a teacher. It was like, I can't quiet these wives down.
The bubbles in the fingers.
I mean, I was like, they're trying to present here, and they were all like, hey. So we'll do a meet and greet with that, and we provide some local wines so that they can taste and see. The couple social seems to be the biggest hit, and it's something, we don't get a whole lot of date nights. That's a big thing. So getting together with your husband and having some time is always real important. And then tomorrow morning we'll have the couples devotional. And I think it's real important, especially with Coaches Outreach, that they come in and they talk that it is a hard life, and you have to work at marriage. And that follow-up at 3 o'clock or 3:30, David and Beth Byzantine, I've known most of my married life, and they were very good friends of my in-laws. I like to see people who have done a long stretch and hear from them and hear how did they make it through that. They're a lot of fun, and my mother-in-law and father-in-law would go a lot to coaching schools, and I kind of feel like I'm pretty tame compared to them. I've heard some wild stories.
Those coaching schools have a way of bringing out the best in everybody.
Absolutely.
You could say.
That's so true.
So obviously, and you kind of hinted at this, but as much as it is to work on the marriage, to raise the kids and stuff like that, it really is great to have those girlfriends and to have the coaches' wives. And we've been really making an effort to talk to as many coaches' wives as we can. How much do you really, throughout, like you said, the one staff, y'all are all raising your kids at the same time. When you go to a game, how great is it to have other moms watching the kids and be able to share in watching other kids grow up too?
It is. I mean, when you have that support system, it really makes a difference, especially for young coaches. I was blessed to have a lot of good mentors. And like I said, I always thought Seguin was the funnest coaching staff, and I'm still really good friends with a lot of those wives. And one of them was here tonight, Mary Smith, Mark Smith's wife. We would eat lunch every Wednesday, and we were both having kids at the same time and eating cheese enchiladas all the time. But I think it is important to, as older coaches' wives, to take the younger ones under and say, hey, it's not easy. I was listening to your broadcast last week with Courtney, and one thing that really resonated with me when she spoke was that, you can either accept it and embrace it, or you can resent it and reject it. And that's true. I mean, and there's, we have a lot of coaches' wives on the, posts, and I go to coaching school every year, but I know a lot of wives don't. And sometimes I've talked to wives, and they're like, what do you have? And I'm like, you need to go. I mean, I enjoy the association. We do a lot of good work. We put in scholarship money. I was lucky that when I lived in San Antonio, I worked with a lot of the San Antonio wives, helping host the Coaches' Wives event. But I think that I know that they're my extended family. I was involved in a really bad car accident in 2017, and I was actually here in Fredericksburg. And the first person that my husband called was Kara Moffitt and said, hey, can you meet Diane at the hospital and stay with her until I get here?
Oh, wow.
Right.
So, even then, the number of people that I had call, they're my coaching friends. It doesn't necessarily have to be on my staff,
Right.
but they were there for me. So
That's awesome.
I mean, it's so obvious how much this clinic truly, truly means to you. I mean, you're in it because you have such a passion for it. But how special is it that you actually get to co-host it with your husband?
I don't know.
As she laughs.
I'm laughing. I'm going, well.
He's just there.
I haven't seen him except for earlier this morning. It is. I am glad that it's something that we can do together. I was really struggling last year with his retirement. I probably struggled with it harder than he did. And I miss going to the games. I miss being part of it. I'm lucky that I teach in a very small town, Mason. I'm a Mason puncher, and going to a Mason puncher game is like no other.
Yes.
So it's fun that I can at least go to games still, and we snuck over here and watched some Fredericksburg games and things. But I will say it's gotten better. It was the first time in 31 years that the first day of two-a-days, my husband and I were on a cruise ship. That was a really good thing. And we've been on about 3 more since then. So
Let's
it's
go.
like,
Good for you.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
this
awesome.
isn't such a bad job. But it does allow us, I think both Clay and Zane, being brought up with their dad as a coach, their uncle as a coach, they have just embraced this whole profession. And I think that they love to give back, and they love what they do here. And I think, and like Coach Moffitt said, Fredericksburg community has done so much for us, and they're so welcoming, and they just embraced us from the start. It's not hard to go and find, gifts for the wives, or hey, would you do this? And they're more than welcome to do that. So we're really excited. We wish they'd build a convention center.
That would be awesome.
You heard it here first on Women Talking Football, Fredericksburg. Let's get it done. But she is Miss Diane Bode. You have been so welcoming to us. Thank you so much for having us. We were very excited to get over to the meet and greet later today and go meet all the wives. But thank you for everything.
Yes, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.